Get ready, Power Gamers. This is episode 10 of The Legends of Lyria. I'm DJ the DM.
I'm Emily. I play Wyndham.
I'm Lily. I play Lyria.
I'm Matt. I play Bojangles.
And I'm Taz, and I play Double Titania.
And we'll start with a brief recap of last week's session. You guys had met on Arcani, the twin peak of the mountains known as the Archon Peaks. You'd found a dwarf civilization, made friends with them, in fact became very close with the dwarves, and you realized that in order to help them help you outfit your army, outfit a ship, you were going to need to steal or acquire a very rare material known as arcanite, which seems to be located only in Arkham proper, which was taken over by an incredibly powerful monster. The plan was devised to sneak into the Underdark, a series of underground caves that go so deep they theoretically connect the two mountains. And so you did. You dived in head first and encountered a couple goblins attacking a couple myconids, these strange mushroom creatures that have arms and legs but are incredibly monstrous. You fought off both. You killed the myconids and the goblins, but as you made your way deeper into the cave, it was clear that the goblins were the real threat, as they had laid multiple traps. They were ready with attacks of all kinds, and you guys made it through with some incredible power gaming and a little bit of horrifying action. Bojangles ended up slaughtering an entire room of goblin young, while Lothiriel ended up finding a little bit of peace and harmony with some trapped myconids. She opted to free them while the party was going full Anakin, and so it seems that in exchange for their freedom, she has brokered a sort of peace deal with the myconids. That's very fortunate, as now, catching up to where we are currently, we're going to be diving into the myconid layer of the Underdark. You stand here at the steps that seem to go lower and lower into a very strange place. The light around you, there is no sunlight, certainly. Instead, it seems that the light you see is instead produced bioluminescence from surrounding mushrooms. They're enormous. And what wildlife does seem to be in here does seem entirely immune to the gaseous spores that are so thick that the air is clouded with them. As you start making your way forward, what do you guys do?
Am I still under the effects of the myconids? Like, are they still in my head talking to me?
Oh, well, you have those spores. You are still under the effects of them. However, at the moment, all you can hear, along with Bojangles, you are also under this same effect. All you can hear, without focusing on it, is a sort of rhythmic chant. It sounds like...
Okay, I want to tune in and tell them that I'm thankful for their help.
Excellent. All right, you try and focus on it, and you try to transmit your own message. There's no response except for the chanting. You're unsure if it was successful. Now that you've moved out of the direct sight of those myconids that gave you those spores to begin with, you're not sure how this works. You can still hear them, that strange chanting, but that's about it. You feel a little bit alone in this area that seems so filled with mushrooms. The air is thick with these spores.
Are we still with the myconids we met?
No, they opted to stay in that cave. It seems that their goal had something to do with that cavern. I suppose if you want, you can hang around and just see what they're doing.
I mean, yeah, I'd rather go through this layer with a guide than go out on our own.
Well, you gather from looking at them back in the dungeon where you were they do seem to be incredibly slow. They're definitely not fast-moving creatures by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, these little ones with their little bitty feet, they seem to be able to move only about 10 feet per round. It's unlikely that they would serve as good guides to you, and it seems that they've got tasks of their own that they're completing.
Oh, okay. I guess we just head towards the chanting noises. What do you guys want to do?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As you begin making your way forward again through the layers of the mushroom kingdom, I need everybody who isn't currently affected by the spores to make a Constitution saving throw. I believe that's Wyndham and Double T. Let's see how you do. All right, how are we
I
looking?
got 17.
17, nice.
5.
Ooh, and Double T, unfortunately you fail. As you guys continue walking through this layer, you feel a strange, euphoric sensation begin to sweep over you. A smile unintentionally crosses your face, but that's about it. And then in the back of your head, you too hear a very, very quiet chant. It seems that Wyndham, you're the only one who seems to be immune to the spores so far. Well done. As you guys progress further, you follow the chants as best you can, and you can tell it's getting louder. At a certain point, this layer opens up from being so densely congested into a literal jungle of mushrooms. The spores are not so thick here, to the point where you feel you wouldn't need to make any sort of saves. But as you look around, the place is enormous, and you don't appear to be alone. There seem to be quite a few myconids scattered throughout even the area you can currently see, but especially as you continue forward, these stubby little mushroom people going around doing God knows what. What do you guys do?
I want to try to talk to one of them and ask them if they can guide us through their area.
Okay, excellent. So, you kind of walk up to one of these mushroom folk and you try and focus your mind and communicate to them your message. Roll for me a persuasion check.
Okay. It's
Wow!
26.
Oh my god, Lothariel, you are one persuasive noble. Yeah, okay, well, you communicate as best you can. And the myconid looks at you, and a little smile crosses its face, and it starts nodding profusely. You don't receive any response in your head, but you can tell it's willing to follow you. It's definitely slow, and if you're having it lead the way, this is going to slow down your travel time significantly. But maybe that's not the end of the world. You proceed behind it, walking at about a third of your base speed. You've definitely got some time now. Why don't I have everybody make either an investigation or a perception check as you walk through the myconid layer?
Okay. I got a 15.
I
Wow.
got a 13.
Got a 14.
That's really interesting. You guys got 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay. Well, as you walk through this area, you have much to look at. Honestly, so much of it is just beautiful and inspiring. It's difficult to take in any real information. However, Lothariel and Bojangles, as you are walking through here, you pay careful attention not to be so awestruck by the vibrant bioluminescent mushrooms and the strange fauna that seem to be existent here. You instead focus a bit on the myconids that seem to be surrounding the area and going about strange business. What you notice is that there do seem to be at least a majority of them seem to be working together in pairs of 2s or 4s, and what they seem to be doing is they seem to be dragging dead bodies. It's very curious. They're so slow it's difficult for you to make out where they're going, and of course you're going in your own direction with a guide at the moment anyway. But they seem to be dragging all kinds of different dead bodies. It's a very curious thing. But that's about all you notice with a 15 or 16. What do you guys do? Matt, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I'm here. I didn't say anything.
Oh, gotcha. It sounded like you started. Okay. Just making sure we weren't having more technical issues. Okay. So, you guys do anything with that information?
I guess let's follow them and see what they're doing with these dead bodies.
Okay. All right. So, it seems like you guys would be taking a little bit of a detour. But that's fine. You know, honestly, you could probably walk away real quick and catch up with this guide again. It's not like he's particularly fast. You guys break away and start following one of these little groups of myconids that seems to be hauling a body. You notice that this body seems to be of some sort of elf. The creature, whatever it is, has pointed ears, opaque purple skin, and white hair. I mean, just pure white. It's a curious creature, but they're hauling it off, and you follow it. Eventually you come upon what appears to be a pile, an enormous pile of dead bodies. Now, there seems to be myconids attending this gigantic pile of corpses, and you can see that there are just so many spores being profligated all throughout the area. You're positive that if you were to walk into this spore-infested place filled with all these dead bodies, well, there might be some sort of save that would be required, and you're not sure exactly what they're doing. Could be dangerous. What do you do?
I'm gonna stand back a safe distance. Is there a skill check I can make to to determine what they're doing here?
Absolutely. Roll for me an investigation. Everyone can feel free to do the same. Or something else. Nature check, survival. Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Yeah.
I only got an 8, so.
I'll do a nature check, just with funsies.
Okay.
It's a 9.
Ooh, okay. So as
I'm
you...
gonna aid Lily.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll at advantage then, since Double T Tanya is helping you.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's see. It's a 6.
We are not good at aiding each other.
Well,
We're not very nature-like, you know? It makes sense.
yeah, unfortunately this strange nature is nothing like you've ever seen, and as you all come upon this towering pile of assembled corpses covered in spores and growing fungus, none of you are sure what the hell is going on. However, Bojangles, since you got a 12, you do notice that there appears to be just such a thick mist of spores in there, and there does seem to be newly growing fungi on these dead bodies. You're guessing that they're decomposing them? Or doing something similar to these bodies. You're not sure why, but yeah, they seem to be just misting the place with spores, and it seems to be effectively growing quite a lot of other mushrooms and fungal rot. You do notice that there are some of these myconids who seem to be atop the pile, and they're working in a team to bring up these little handmade wet vines that they then wring out on top of the pile in order to moisten the pile of dead bodies. It does seem particularly effective for generating fungus, rot. That's all you know.
That's pretty weird. Alright, well, these mushroom people are weird.
Yeah.
Let's try not to die.
Yeah, but they also are helping us, so maybe we shouldn't worry too much about it. They are peaceful after all,
I don't like them.
but they're helping us.
Yeah, until when?
Yeah, I think everybody stay on your guard.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty bad place to end up dead.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. And with that, you guys make your way back to your Myconid guide. He takes you far away from the strange pile of corpses. That's crazy. Cake says the moistened dead bodies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys get out of there in a hurry. You don't understand what's happening, and you sure don't want to be a part of it. You do reconnect with your Myconid guide. It seems he's not made an incredible amount of progress, so you walk onward. More time passes, and it seems that the further in you go, the light seems to change. It seems as though there's not so much variation in the type of mushrooms as you go forward, and the chanting in your heads has risen to a very loud cacophony. As you continue forward, it's then that you see, through the now dim purple light, it's all coming from one source, one gigantic mushroom in the center of a grove of so many myconids that seem to be in some sort of trance. You gather that if you were to step forward, the entire floor, the air here, is also littered with a type of spores. They seem heavier than the last ones, as they seem to have sunk into the floor. It seems that they're coming from this large mushroom tree in the center, along with all the light that's being exuded. The Myconid guide seems to walk forward into the spore-covered grounds without any sort of hesitation. Do you follow?
No.
Oh, Momps just redeemed a posture check. You know what? That actually sounds just right. Let me see if you guys can hear this. I'm gonna crack my back right now. Oh, yeah.
Is that really your back?
Was that your back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a legendarily crunchy back. Thank you for the posture check, Momps. I needed that.
I think I got you beat, DJ.
Yeah, let's hear it. Oh, I didn't hear anything. The chat says they're horrified.
Broke SB Cat.
Yeah. Well, you get what, points well earned and well redeemed. She says she's never doing that again. I love it. Well,
Crunchy back.
you're welcome. Oh, man, I had no idea my crunchy back was going to be such a horrifying thing. Yeah, wow. Well, it's the highlight of the show. Who knew my horrifying bone-breaking back could be so disgusting? Wow, it's really blowing up in chat. Lord Ternambulon says they hated people that did that and sat in front of them in high school. Well, I hate to tell you, I was that kid. Oh, yeah, I could crack my back, as you can tell, like no other. Oh my god, wait a minute, what? What Wolf just redeemed 1,000 points, making a magic item called DJ's Crunchy Back. Okay, this is really escalating. All right, well, I am going to have to make a magic item in this campaign called DJ's Crunchy Back. Yikes. All right, well, that is going to be freaking horrifying. Oh, man.
Like, you would get that from the same guy who would sell Dead Sea Tupperware.
What is that?
If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
I sure don't. God, I hope the chat does. Or maybe I hope they don't, depending on what it is. Yikes. Oh man. Okay. Well, thank you, What Wolf, for the 1,000 points. I am absolutely flabbergasted and horrified that I have to figure out what DJ's Crunchy Back does, but I will incorporate it into this world. Gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Mom, for this this tangent.
Yeah. Wow.
Excited.
Who knew?
I'll let her know she just stepped away.
In Crazy Cakes, SD redeemed 100 points to say frickin' horrifying. Yeah, wow. Guys, I thought the tower of rotting dead bodies and the giant sovereign mushroom tree was what was going to be scary. Little did you know, the horror was in me the whole time. I feel like, gosh, it's not Dora the Explorer. Wait a minute. What was the chick in the Yellow Brick Road? Oh my goodness.
Dorothy.
Dorothy. Yeah, Dora the Explorer. Totally the same thing.
Dorothy.
Nailed it. All right. Well, that's good. So, anyway, wow. Now that we've moved past the frickin' horrifying DJ's Crunchy Back, we return. The Myconid has decided to move into the spore-encroached area. Oh my god! Bomb267 just redeemed, all caps, Dorothy the Explorer. Yes. I never claimed to be a wise man. And I'm also kind of dumb. Well, it is what it is. Thank you for redeeming those points. Chat is blowing up. I friggin' love it. Well, you guys have had your Myconid guide move into the spore-infested floor. But Double T Tanya has announced her hesitancy to follow. What do you guys do?
I'm all for the spores. Double team. They're guiding us. We're safe. They told us we would be safe. I say just follow him.
Nope.
I'm gonna tie a rope around Lyria and tell her, okay, why don't you go ahead and walk out into the spores and we'll pull you back if something bad happens.
Fine. I have very high hopes for my mushroom pals.
I hope you get hurt.
Double T flexing those cleric muscles again. I love it. Well,
Guys.
yeah, Bojangles, you have no problem tying a rope around Lyria. Are you anchoring it to anything or just keeping it yourself like a leash?
Just holding onto it like a leash.
Okay.
Like like when you take your kid to Disneyland, you don't want stranger to take them.
You have the backpack leash.
It's an interesting thought. You also can hear the chanting in your head still, Matt. You know that you're also infected with the spores, but you feel a bit of safety, as now, at least, if something happens to her, perhaps you could do something. What happens
We'll
next?
go ahead and walk into the spores, I guess.
Okay, I walk in.
All right.
I believe in my mushrooms.
Okay, well, let's see if your faith is well-founded. So, Lyria, when you walk into the cloud of spores that litters the ground, does anyone else follow?
No.
I'm not gonna follow, but I'll help hold the rope.
All right. It seems that they're sending in a sort of test subject first and foremost. Lyria, since you're the only one to go in, I'm guessing you're not looking to resist the spores or anything, right?
Nope. These mushrooms are my friends.
I love it. Excellent. Well, yeah, you walk in. You take a deep breath. And you feel a strange sense of peace suddenly come over you. It's a strange feeling. It's peace mixed with euphoria, a smile mixed with a calmness of body as all of the muscles that you have relax from the tips of your jaw. It relaxes to the top of your shoulders all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Your muscles unclench and you can feel yourself suddenly at ease. It's a great feeling, and all of a sudden the chanting, which has risen to an incredible volume, stops. And you hear a resounding voice in your head. Welcome. I am the Myconid Sovereign. We welcome you to our abode. We have been informed that you are in need. Come, experience oneness with us, and what is ours shall be yours.
I'm so happy to hear the voice. I gladly step in further.
All right. You step in further, you find that you're stopped by the rope. You guys see Lothario walk in, suddenly take a deep inhale, and you watch all of her muscles relax. And then she starts trying to walk forward more without another word to you guys. The rope is now taut. It seems she's not going to be able to go any further without you following. What do you guys do?
How you doing, buddy? You okay?
I've never felt better.
Oh.
Are you sure?
Yes. I told you. The Myconids are our friends. They're here to help us.
Alright, I mean, screw it. 3/4 of us are already infected. Let's just go. If they're gonna do something, I don't think there's much we can do against it.
Fair. Yeah, let's just
go.
Wonderful. We're finally going to become one with the Myconids.
We're steering into the skid here. I don't want to be a mushroom.
I don't want to get mushroom either.
We are becoming one.
That's real dangerous talk.
like, but is it a good idea?
The Myconid Sovereign is here to help us with anything that we need.
No, the big one we saved said we should go see him, so...
Yeah, I guess let's go.
We are on the right path to becoming one.
Please stop saying becoming one. Please. It's making me very, very uncomfortable.
Well, it's at this point, I guess you guys are walking into the spore-filled floor, is that right?
Yep, some unwilling.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you make your way forward. Windham, you're the only person who hasn't been infected yet. You try your best to hold your breath, I assume, or do you just breathe deep?
I'm just gonna breathe deep.
All right. Well, as you guys walk in, some of you perhaps try and hold your breath, perhaps others of you don't. But it's at that point when you do take that breath, you feel that sense of peace start to come upon you. Well done, Power Gamer. You've safely made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. Thanks for hanging out with us, and a very special thank you to our supporters on Patreon. Thank you to our Patreon founders, whose incredible generosity humbles us. Thank you to the legends, guild members, and all of the official Power Gamers whose love and support makes this channel possible. If you like what you saw, let us know by leaving a like, comment, subscription, donation, sharing the video with your friends. Check out all the links below, and we'll see you Saturday on Twitch for the next Legends of Lyria.